You got a Mossy didn't pay me in gold. Yo, what is popping? People, we up in here. You got to chill. We is up in here chilling, doing what we do. Waiting on all of the things to be the things, you know. Miss Jeanette is already in the building. Evelyn Underwood is in the building. Everybody is in the house. People is in here early. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm talking about my people standing up on the business. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we get down. So when you walk in the place, sure that you do what you do when you walk in other people's house. Introduce yourself. We got a little bad news today. A little bad news there, Mona. Your boy is on this blueberry muffin action, and it is rather good, is all I'm gonna say. And then blueberry muffin is hidden because it's fresh for 88. We got some bad news this morning. Your boy is injured. You know. But we know what it is. T Rizzo is mad. I'm looking through stuff right now. Y'all, T Rizzo is mad that Shedeur didn't take any reps this morning. So we gonna make it do what it do. Y'all keep on walking in, keep introducing yourself. Y'all know how we start this thing off. We get it popping. We let the people enter the building before we kick this thing off. And I'm just grabbing this. Before we start. Because things have taken a slight change today. And it's kind of crazy that me and the people were having this conversation yesterday. Well, no, not yesterday. We had this, yesterday. Yesterday, me and the homies had this conversation. But it's kind of weird. Let's see who's in the building this morning. Miss Evelyn Underwood is in the building. Miss Jeanette Fox is in the building. The beautiful Miss Gail is in the building. B More Nina is in the house. KJ is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Did you see what the guy said about Tom Brady on the Rich Eisen show? Yes. Shedeur is already out with an injury. Prayer works. Shedeur is supposed to have a small injury. I know, man. It's just one of them things. See you, Auntie, here from Detroit, Ivy Jones. D Hall, another CU auntie from South Florida. Robert is in the house. Miss Sharon is in the house. Trying to be positive. Most of the dumb coaches are saving Shedeur for Saturday. All the injuries seem suspicious. Hey, Robert, I had that conversation with the homies. When was that, Monday? Well, what we said was 2 quarterbacks were already injured and they didn't get to play. But Shedeur got an entire game to himself. And my partner said, now watch, before the season starts, Shedeur is going to come up with a suspicious injury so they can showcase these other 2 quarterbacks. Prayer Work says prayers up for Shedeur in all areas of his life. Ms. Gail, I don't believe Shedeur is injured, but yet he's playing Saturday but didn't receive any reps. I think they're hiding Shedeur. Man, look. Myra is in the building. Good afternoon, Big Snacks, and everyone. Clyde, I am ordering a steak omelet, and I have your volume up. 4 brothers are sitting next to me, and they are listening to your show here in my hometown of Chicago. Clyde, I know who you got beside you. I know you got one of the greatest beside you. You know what I'm saying? Gail, think you right, Robert. I don't believe that our baby is injured. Tara is in the house. What up, partner? But it is what it is. But y'all know how we do. Before we get this thing started, y'all know how we do this. We got to give a shout out to you, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, please do us a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And please do not forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when the videos go live or we go live, dropping this heat. You know how I do. But before we get started, you know, we don't do nothing without shouting out our beautiful ladies, the CU aunties, for keeping it live in the building. And if you see a CU auntie in this chat or any other chat when we go live or in the comment section, make sure you stop and say what's up. Acknowledge their presence, because those ladies do nothing but support. And yeah, we like all that. We love them for everything that they do for us while they're plowing, messing around in our stuff. You know what I'm saying? But my bad, y'all. That was loud. I don't know why it was so loud. But this thing is getting heavy. But we finna talk about something other than Shedeur being injured, and we'll get to that. But let's go. It's crazy how we got to this point. And I'm going to, we need to calm this. We need some calming music. We don't need nothing heavy. We need something soft, sexy, seductive, something real nice and neat. But it's crazy that the popularity of Shedeur is driving other people nuts. People hate that Shedeur is as popular as he is because he's a 5th round quarterback. And I reiterate, 5th round, and we're going to use that as the medium today because he is a 5th round quarterback. And people go out of their way to remind us that Shedeur Sanders is a fifth round quarterback.
This idiom means going to extra trouble.
And before we go too far into this, y'all know how super chats and super stickers and everything else works. We'll get to those. But Shedeur Sanders' popularity has teed off a conversation, and it has upset the atmosphere, the stratosphere of the NFL, that people are complaining that Shedeur Sanders is getting more coverage than the first round draft pick Cam Ward. And most people don't understand how we got to this point and who's to blame for Shedeur's fanatic rise to being a bigger superstar than he was before he got into the NFL. And it's the NFL's fault. It's nobody's fault but their own. They started this, and now they can't control it. See, because what they thought would happen is that once he wasn't drafted as high as he was supposed to be drafted, the noise would calm down. And then he would fade back into the sunset and the NFL could go on about their business. But since Shedeur's fall in the draft, Shedeur has been a media staple. He has been an NFL quarterback that drives the industry, that feeds the click monsters, that feeds the algorithm. Shedeur Sanders was a hot topic for about a week after the draft, and then they thought it would go away, and it hasn't. Shedeur Sanders has been the standard of content daily. And since rookies have reported to rookie minicamp, Shedeur Sanders has driven the news cycle daily. He has been the lead on major sports stations. He has been talked about in every arena of sports there is. And now, on a daily basis, with preseason starting, he leads all sports topics on a daily basis. He leads Sports Center. He leads Get Up. He leads First Take and all of the Fox stations, including radio and television. All of ESPN, including radio and television. All of Yahoo Sports, including YouTube and articles on their website. Shedeur Sanders is the algorithm when it comes to the NFL. Right now, Cleveland is being spoken about more than the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones is sick, because Jerry Jones is usually front facing. The Cowboys are usually the talk of the town. What's going to happen next in Big D? What did Jerry say at his news conference? But Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys are not that right now with Shedeur Sanders in the news cycle. But this is the fault of the NFL. The NFL did this to themselves. The NFL turned Shedeur Sanders into the number one rookie jersey in the NFL. The NFL turned Shedeur Sanders into the algorithm monster that he currently is, simply for what they did. This is all their fault. If you wouldn't have been so vindictive, if you would have not been so vindictive, if you would have simply just let Shedeur Sanders be drafted where he should have been drafted, then we wouldn't have this problem. If you simply would have let Cleveland do what they wanted to do, if you'd have simply let any of the teams that wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders have their way, instead of trying to punish Deion Sanders and his son for being them, then we wouldn't be in this boat. Because Shedeur Sanders, yes, he would have sold jerseys. And yes, he would have been a hot topic. But by him being drafted in the 5th round, a projected first round pick that was drafted in the 5th round, for no other reason than some anonymous coach said some stuff that they didn't like about Shedeur, then we wouldn't be here. This would not be the top of everybody's mind. This wouldn't be the topic of conversation on a daily basis. But the NFL has no one to blame but themselves. See, because if Shedeur goes in the 1st round or even the 2nd round, where he was projected to go, then we're all cool. We all right, he in there. Let's wait for preseason. Of course, we would have followed, we would have supported, we would have done all the things that we have normally done since Jackson State. But see, what the NFL did was created a groundswell. They created a grassroots movement because it was obvious what they were doing. It was obvious to everyone that Shedeur Sanders was set up and pushed down into the 5th round. And with that came the support of people who don't watch football, of people who weren't paying football any mind, of people who really didn't care what happened with football until the season started. But they pushed it, and they pushed it too far. Their punishment of Shedeur Sanders turned into the biggest reward possible. Because not only did he grow in support, people grew to dislike the NFL for doing it. And then what happens next? He gets added to a team who had already drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round, which is the Cleveland Browns, which made it even worse. Because now we're saying, well, you got a quarterback, so why did you draft Shedeur? But we all knew Cleveland really wanted Shedeur from the get-go. We all knew how much resources and time Cleveland had invested in Shedeur during the pre-draft process. We all knew that Cleveland had been to Colorado several times. We all knew that they were meeting Shedeur at the East-West Shrine Bowl. We all knew they were meeting Shedeur at the NFL Combine. We all knew this. But Cleveland, once they drafted Shedeur, tried to act like we really didn't have any interest in Shedeur from the jump, which we all knew, once again, was a lie. We knew that Cleveland wanted Shedeur. And now that you have him, along with Dylan Gabriel, what are you going to do? And once that took place, the writing was on the wall that my phone always rings. Soon as I do a video, it never freaking fails. But we all knew. We watched it take place. And now that the groundswell of people have come to support Shedeur, that the people are on Shedeur's side, and now the city of Cleveland also has embraced Shedeur, that noise has gotten louder and people are getting upset about Shedeur getting all of this love. The question is being asked, where in the hell did all this support come from? When it's always been there. When we've been there since day one. You know, we've been there since Jackson State. I've watched these analysts and watched these people talk about Shedeur's college career, and they don't know what they're talking about. I watched them only bring up the 2 years in Colorado, never mentioning Jackson State. Jackson State is not a mention when they talk about Shedeur's college career. When Jackson State deserves to be mentioned every time you talk about Shedeur's college career. I heard on what was that? Rich Eisen's show yesterday. They were talking about Shedeur's college career. And I heard ears say that Shedeur was a 74% pass completion, had 74% pass completions, leading the NCAA in D1 football for 2 years. And I'm like, no, dummy. That's 4 years. That's Jackson State to Colorado. That's a 4-year span. Jackson State is a D1 school. Although it's an HBCU school, there still is a Division I college. You can't shorten his career to just Colorado. People don't like to recognize what he did in Colorado or what they done in Jackson State, simply because it's an HBCU and they need to stop it. The HBCU section of his career, which is the first 2 years, should always be recognized because that's where he started. That's where it all stems from. That's the birthplace. But the NFL and the people that cover it fail to recognize that part of his college career, which is actually horrible and disrespectful at the same time. But now we're in this stage to where Shedeur is all over the freaking place. You can't turn on a radio show, a sports show, any sports show anywhere without them bringing up Shedeur Sanders. And after this first game, after he didn't move on the depth chart, those cries got even louder. They become even bigger, and people want to know what is Cleveland doing. And Cleveland didn't expect this. They knew that Shedeur came with a lot. They knew Shedeur came with a wealth of fans. They knew Shedeur came with a lot of eyes, but not that many eyes. They didn't know that many eyes would be upon them. They did not know that millions and millions of people would be watching every day, would be reporting every day, would be glued to whatever the Cleveland Browns are doing. And this has caused a kerfuffle. A kerfuffle. You know, this has caused a little mix-up in the NFL circles, because now other owners are being asked, and the question is going to come up while Shedeur is becoming more and more successful. The question is going to start being asked by not only other fan bases, but the media is going to start asking other teams, are you sure your decision to pass on Shedeur Sanders was correct? Are you happy with your decision to pass on Shedeur Sanders? And what's going to happen is other general managers are going to get those questions from their owners. The more and more he succeeds, the more and more the NFL is proving to be wrong, full of collusion, and it becomes more and more evident that, yes, what we've all heard is true. What we've heard about what the Cleveland Browns or the NFL did to ensure that Shedeur Sanders would go either undrafted or drafted in the later rounds is true. You know, he has taken to the people. He has molded himself in that city. The fans around the world have gathered to support Shedeur Sanders. That Friday night football game, that preseason game, over 2.3 million views. 2 million people don't watch preseason football. I'm sorry. They barely cover 500K, especially on the Cleveland Browns game. They might get 100K, if that. The Cleveland Browns damn near sold out that stadium for that Friday night preseason game. The stadium holds 75,000 people. Over 70,000 people were in that stadium for a preseason game. My partners and them told me it was more Shedeur Sanders jerseys in that stadium than there was Charlotte jerseys. And they was in Charlotte. They was in North Carolina. And all you saw was Colorado jerseys and freaking Cleveland Brown jerseys and a few JSU jerseys. So really, did they come to see the game, or did they come to see Shedeur? And today we learned. Let me get to some of these chat. Let me see. We ain't got no super chats, but y'all chatting it up. And it's crazy about what's going on. But as you know, 92.3 The Fan always ask the right question.
When the rest of the league is saying to calm down, course the rest of the league's saying to calm down. Why wouldn't the rest of the league tell people to calm down? They didn't think it was very good. They didn't think it was very good. They let him fall to the 5th round. 31 other teams, 31 other scouting departments let him fall to the 5th round. There is no way that they want him to do well. There's no way that they want Shedeur Sanders to be successful. They are rooting for the fall of Shedeur Sanders, the 31 other teams. Why wouldn't they?
Oh, so you think this is a concerted effort for people to tell Albert Breer because they're now worried that Shedeur could be really good?
No. Not just that. It's not a vast conspiracy of the other 31 teams. I don't think it's as news breaking where if Albert asks guys who are scouting departments, usually, and you know this, a lot of teams don't say a lot of nice things about each other. They all think that they're smarter than the other ones, and they think they're the smartest guys at the league meetings. 31 other teams let him fall to the 5th round. Do you think that 31 other scouting departments, if he ends up hitting, want to answer to their bosses, want to answer to their owners if they ended up taking a dud in the draft? They don't want to answer to that. They did not think he was very good. They're going to say he was up against vanilla defense. Some of that is obviously true about the vanilla defense and what he played in preseason game number 1.
True
clearly.
for everybody.
But
plays.
Exactly, that's the point.
Yeah,
I would
just say, Ken,
it's not an attack on Albert.
Let's think about what we would be doing in Cleveland if Shedeur Sanders had done that for the Steelers. We'd be
sick.
We'd be rolling our eyes. I think
no.
I mean, do you think Skylar? Are you worried about Skylar Thompson?
I'm not
up 233 yards.
I'm not worried about Skylar Thompson.
Are we going crazy about Tanner McKee his performance? No, because we don't care about preseason performance.
Skylar Thompson has been in the league for 4 years. Tanner McKee is a journeyman. Nobody cares about those quarterbacks. Nobody cares about no other quarterbacks in the NFL but Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show. Those will be the most talked about quarterbacks, period. Nothing else. And yes, other teams want him to fail because nobody wants to look like they missed the mark. Same thing in Cleveland. It is the same thing happening in Cleveland. They don't want to look like they missed the mark. They want Dylan Gabriel to succeed. They want Dylan Gabriel to be that boy. They don't want to look like they made the wrong choice. It's just that simple. Because jobs are on the line. We don't want to look like we got Shedeur, but we drafted Dylan in front of Shedeur, so we wasted a 3rd round pick. Now what are we going to do? That's why Dylan was being given every chance to take this job. And they are begging him, please. And when he got hurt, and Shedeur had no choice but to play, the one thing they didn't want to happen happened. Everybody got to see him play. Not knowing that they know how good he is. Trust me, they know exactly how good Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders is not a loser. This man was bred to do exactly what he's doing now. This man has a father that is one of the greatest people to ever lace up cleats. And he has used his professional Rolodex of quarterbacks and receivers and defensive backs to mentor and train his son to be one of the best quarterbacks when he gets to the NFL. Shedeur has been bred for this moment. He has been groomed to be what he is right now, great at his job. Deion Sanders did not spend all that time, invest all that money, invest all his friendships for his son to be good at football. He did that for his son to be great. And Shedeur is one of the most poised football quarterbacks in the league. They know it. They don't want you to continue to see it. This is a problem for the Cleveland Browns. Because see, what Shedeur is ready for the moment. What Shedeur is the moment is not too big for him. He embraces the moment. He wants that moment. He thrives off that moment. And they've never seen that before. They've seen some quarterbacks, but Cleveland has not seen a quarterback that is good and embraces every moment. Never. Because Cleveland's been looking for a quarterback for almost 30 years. They don't know what good quarterbacks look like. Nobody in the Cleveland Browns organization knows what a good quarterback looks like. They can't judge one. They've never done it. Call me a lie. You can't, because it's true. Nobody knows what success looks like in that organization. The fan base doesn't know what success looks like with this organization. Everything is skeptical to them. They're leery of any and everything that looks like it might work. And all they're going to bring up is Baker Mayfield, DTR, Johnny Manziel. Well, we got so excited with these people. So what? You have ups and downs. You have disappointments. You have failures. But when Mr. Consistent walks into your clubhouse, you should embrace that. When a young man that has never failed at anything in life walks into your clubhouse and say, hey, here I go. Let's play some football. And your first instinct is something is wrong there? No, you don't embrace that. When somebody walks into your building with a fan base that is bigger than yours and you've been in existence for over 70 years, and a young man walks in that's bigger than you, you want to humble him instead of embracing it? You are throwing obstacle after obstacle after obstacle at this young man. And he ain't flinched. He ain't backed down. He ain't coward. He ain't balled in a corner saying, I want my father. He say, bring it. Whatever you got. Because this is what we do. This organization is not used to that. Everybody who is attached to the NFL are used to seeing things one way. They want things done one way. All of these people have only seen this one time. And it was Dion. And all of the old heads are against it because they played when Dion played. And they like, no, we're not doing this again. Not with this family. No, sir, this can't happen. Because when Shedeur sucks up all the oxygen out of your room, and when he walks into the room, everybody goes that way toward him. And you stuck there like, hey, what about me? All y'all was just right here with me, hollering at me. And then Shedeur walks in the room and boom, everybody disappears. Hey, where y'all go? People don't want that. even the owners, the coaches, don't want him to be bigger than the Shield. And that's the problem. Right now, Shedeur is bigger than the Shield. People are pounding the NFL for what they've done. And the NFL don't like that. They hate it. Shedeur is not a braggadocious person. Yes, he likes his cars. He likes his jewelry. He likes to have a little fun. But he's not demeaning people. He's not showing out in people's faces. He's not doing the most. He's having fun. He's laughing. And he's enjoying life. Like I've said many of times. Like Deion Sanders has said all the time. Don't let his confidence affect your insecurities. But that's what's happening. That's exactly what we're watching. We're watching a confident 23-year-old guy who loves playing football being treated like he's done something to the other people that play football, when all he's done was simply be himself and play the game that he loves to play. Now, Cleveland is in Cleveland is in Philadelphia today for joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles as we get ready for this game on Saturday against the Philadelphia Eagles. And we got some terrible news this morning. Well, not this morning, just a little while ago. And it's seems to be kind of strange. Seems to be kind of weird. But breaking news.
According to Adam Schefter, Shedeur Sanders suffered an oblique injury while throwing during the early portion of practice today. That's why he was held out for the rest of the session, answering our question from earlier in the show as to why he wasn't getting any of those reps.
I mean, if he's not practicing because of the oblique, he probably won't play. You know, those things are, and I know from playing, you know, the sport I play now is a lot more of this core than the position I played in football. But the position he plays in football, it's all core.
Now you have 3 of your 4 quarterbacks, by the way, all dealing with some sort of injury, and the 41-year-old,
the old man, is
somehow the healthiest of the 3.
What do we got here? Shedeur Sanders hurt. Did not finish practice today because of an oblique strain. But Kevin Stefanski said after practice that Shedeur will start on Saturday. He's hurt, but he's going to start on Saturday. What say ye, people in the chat? Are we blending it up so Dylan Gabriel can get his standalone game all by himself because Shedeur had his. Are we buying the fact that all of a sudden, 3 days before the game, Shedeur is injured? He's hurt his oblique. That's that core muscle. That's that muscle when if you do like that and throw that ball, yeah, you feel it. But knowing Shedeur has only had one injury in college. He only missed one game in college. And that was that last Utah game, the last game of the year, the first year in Colorado. For a person that has been sacked and hit and punched to the ground that many times, now he comes up injured. I told y'all on Monday Dylan Gabriel's hamstring was going to be fine. Dylan Gabriel would be back in practice. He would be back at 100%. But what I didn't tell y'all the other side of that thought was somehow or another, Shedeur Sanders might end up with an injury. Shedeur Sanders somehow might end up hurt, because it did pop up into mind. It was a conversation that I've had with my friends. But now here we are. But T Rizzo don't like it.
Is, quote, on track. So what I'm guessing here is coach will look at him these next 2 days and then make a decision on Saturday. But you heard Grossi ask him if Pickett and Dillon can't go, would Shedeur start again? Yes, he would. But if I know Dylan Gabriel, I know him a little, he's a competitive kid, and he's going to want to play. So barring another setback or injury, and who knows, but it looks like Dillon is on track and will work today.
And today in practice, that's a bad practice. That is a bad practice. Flacco went 6 for 13. Pickett only participated in 7 on 7s, and he went 5 for 6. Dylan Gabriel, he went 6 for 19, dog. And old Snoop went 3 for 4. Dylan Gabriel went 6 for 19. They did not let Shedeur participate in any drills today because of that oblique strain. Now, that oblique strain can go away in about 24 to 48 hours. So, and knowing Shedeur, he gonna be just fine. But I find it suspicious. As soon as we get to Philly, Shedeur comes up with an obscure injury that messes with his throwing motion. It's not a hamstring. It's not a quad. It's an oblique. Boy, I'm gonna tell y'all, when something ain't right, something ain't right. And when you feel it in your bones, and you just know what it is. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But Shedeur did talk to Jalen Hurts today after practice. They had a one-on-one, and the pictures are floating around online with Shedeur and Jalen riding around in the car, standing out talking. Jalen said Shedeur came up to him, wanted to talk, wanted to have a serious conversation, wanted to ask some questions. So we all know. It is what it is. Trust and believe that Shedeur will show back up and do what he does. You know, Shedeur will do what he's always done. Come game day, he'll show up. So I'm questioning this injury. I'm not going to put it out there. I'm just saying it's mighty damn strange all of a sudden. Come this week, Shedeur picks up a strange injury, and y'all know how we question stuff because y'all know how we feel about the situation that he's in. So now everything is questionable. Everything they do is questionable because they haven't put him in the most advantageous situations. We know that they've tried to hide him from the public. We know that they didn't want him practicing with the ones for the media to see, for the public to see, because we knew what we've already seen for the last 4 to 5 years. Shedeur is not the most accurate NCAA quarterback by accident. He didn't stumble upon his accuracy. He didn't stumble upon his ability to stand in the pocket and deliver those balls by accident. These were things he has learned. These were things that he has worked on for years with NFL quarterbacks. Two of the best by NFL standards has worked with Shedeur. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, along with Jeff Blake and others. But as we see, the question has still been asked, can he handle the NFL? My question is to everybody in the NFL, what makes you think he can't handle the NFL? What has he shown you in his 4 years of college that says he can't handle the NFL? What situation has he ever been put in that says he's not ready for this? What situation have you seen him come out of and he acted a damn fool when he succeeded? What situation, if anything, has he done that says he's not ready for the moment? Because everything that he's done up to this point says this young man is ready for everything that you throw at him. This young man is the future of somebody's franchise. Are you upset because he and his father and his family stand out amongst the NFL and the NFL elite more than you want them to? Do they make other people feel small? Probably so. But that's on you. That's not his fault. There's nothing he can do for that. But what we want to know is, why are you trying to handle him like a child? With these lies from TMZ and freaking SI. Shedeur showed up with an entourage. No, Shedeur showed up with his teammates. It just looked like an entourage because there's a whole lot of black people walking behind each other. But it's a whole lot of black people on the football team. But those were second and third and fourth string players. Nobody that you don't know by face. So you called it an entourage. See, the things that they've tried to do to make him and his family seem more than or less than, depending on how you look at it, it ain't working. It hasn't worked. Everything that they've tried to pull has failed. And it keeps failing. These people were built for this moment. Deion Sanders has raised men that were built for the moment. Shiloh is the goofy one. He's the more unserious one. He likes to have a little bit more fun than Shedeur. But Shedeur, understanding the position that he's in by playing the position of quarterback, knows his spotlight is greater than his older brother. And he's more reserved, but he likes to do his thing. See, he still like to shine. He still like the jewels. He still like the clothes, the cars. But you only get to see it because they show it to you. If they didn't show it to you, then you wouldn't know anything about it. And that's the NFL and college football's biggest problem, because they show it to you. And it hasn't become a spectacle. It has become something that everyone has gravitated towards. Everyone has moved toward the Sanders family instead of running away. People are mad because during the middle of that game, after Shedeur's second touchdown, Nike posted an ad. And I've heard them on the radio over and over and over again. He's a fifth-round quarterback. Nike's posting ads. When have you seen Nike post an ad for a fifth-round quarterback? And then I heard them saying, you got all these quarterbacks that you could have posted an ad for. All them quarterbacks are not signed to Nike. All them quarterbacks ain't signed a big couple of millions of dollars worth of deals with Nike. See, but y'all thought y'all was mad because he got that fifth round draft pick money. He got that Nike money, Mercedes money, Beats money. He got money. He ain't mad at y'all. Boog told y'all in February he was $29 million richer at that point. He had just signed a new deal. See, you mad. The NFL is mad. And people are mad because one fifth round draft pick should not have all this attention. But he's not just your ordinary fifth round draft pick. The NFL made him a fifth round draft pick. They did this on purpose because they thought that we can make him less than what he is. And maybe we'll hurt his feelings, we'll break his soul, and he'll go sit down somewhere. But what turned out to be a gift more than a curse. Because yes, you made him a fifth round draft pick. Yes, you did something to him that he didn't want, and we knew he was worth more than. But you also galvanized the people that were behind him. You also brought along more people that didn't pay this situation any attention because they heard about the first round draft pick that turned into a fifth round draft pick, and people wanted to know, how in the hell did that happen? And he grew even more. See, what you didn't expect was grace. what you didn't expect was favor. And I tell y'all over and over and over, favor is not fair. Favor ain't fair. It is not. And Shedeur is receiving it in truckloads. Because every time, now watch, every time you try to throw something negative out there on him, it turns into a positive. How do you do that? How does that happen? Because of favor. Now, we got this oblique. But come Thursday, Friday, that oblique gonna be just fine. Shedeur gonna be ready for Saturday. All I'm saying is, the NFL started this. The NFL did what they did, and it turned on them. The NFL put Shedeur in this situation. They wanted Shedeur to be humble because that was their word before the draft. He needs to be humble. You can't humble greatness. You can't humble someone who's already humble. You can't humble someone who's already given it up for the Most High. It doesn't work that way. And that's why Shedeur receives all the favor that he has received. That's why Shedeur is in the position that he's in today. That's why Shedeur and Dion continue to receive the fanfare that they receive on a daily basis. And their platforms are only getting bigger. The more the NFL pushes to make him small, the bigger he becomes. Just think about the sequences of events that have taken place since leaving college. It started with the jersey retirement in Colorado. All of the fan base and all of the old players that were of significant value to Colorado, that played at Colorado, that won a national championship, those that were a part of something great at Colorado, none of them liked the fact that Shedeur and Travis got their jerseys retired. But it was more Shedeur than Travis because Travis had won the Heisman Trophy and every other college award that was available. It was Shedeur that they didn't like. They didn't like the fact that the coach's son is getting his jersey retired. That's crazy. He doesn't have any awards. He's just a Big 12 Player of the Year. He's just a Johnny Unitas Golden Armor winner. He's just broke 100 records at CU in 2 years that has been standing there for 20 plus years. He just broke all those records in 2 years, and most of those quarterbacks were there 3 to 4 years, mostly 4. because there were no 3-year quarterbacks at Colorado. Nobody came out early. No quarterbacks were that good. It was the fact that he was the coach's son. And it was the fact that they hadn't gotten the recognition that they felt that they deserved. So why should they get it? No, why should he get it? Is what I'm saying. Why should he get this prestigious award that none of us have gotten? And we won national championships. We won Jim Thorpe Awards. The people that wore that number before him had done this, had done that. But Coach Prime said it. And after he said it, nobody had anything else to say. And after Rick George said, hey, this is on me. I said, we doing this and we doing this right now. When Coach Prime said, I'm retiring my players' jerseys. Those that came before him, they weren't my players. I don't know who did what, and I don't know who deserves what, so I don't have a right to put your name in the rafters. But I know what these two have done for this university. And we're not going to wait until one of them is away from here, like they did Rashawn Salam, before he get his flowers. We're going to give them theirs now, which is proper. We're not going to wait for them to get into the NFL. They deserve it now because they did it now. Why we got to wait 5 years to give them what they earned? Why you got to wait 15 years after you finish your NFL career? Your NFL career doesn't matter. It's what you did in college that gets you up there. But Colorado wasn't the only team that did something like that. Miami was doing it. Georgia had done it, but you didn't see headlines on those because they don't move the needle like Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Just like the NFL didn't expect this groundswell of people that would support Shedeur Sanders after they done what they did to having him drafted in the 5th round. They don't understand who his people are. They don't understand who Deion is. And that's the biggest mistake. Not only is it passed down from the father to the sons, both. Because if you go over there and play with Shiloh, we gonna have to see about you. It's no different. Shedeur commands the spotlight because he is a quarterback. But don't think you can go over there and play with Shiloh like we ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna have to hear it. We gonna have to holler at you. But it's simple. And Jalen Hurts had something to say about Shedeur the day after practice.
I keep the conversation intimate. We had a very lengthy conversation. He came to me and just, wanted to talk. And I'm always there, as said earlier, of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. And ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You got to want it. You got to want it. And so I'm supporting him from where I am and wishing him nothing but the best with his.
That's right. That's what you call an Alabama quarterback. I know Oklahoma want to claim him. No. He graduated from the University of Alabama. He played 1 year at Oklahoma. they love to claim something after they've transferred. That's why during the year, those that do watch me, I was telling y'all that head coach at USC, he ain't no good quarterback coach and he ain't no good coach either. But the way things are going right now with Shedeur, they're only going to get crazier. And when Shedeur shows up on Saturday ready to play, and Dylan Gabriel doesn't ball out, and he doesn't move up on the depth chart, they gonna want to know. They gonna want to know. And just to reiterate today's practice, Flacco went 6 of 13. Shedeur, they didn't let him throw to that. Kenny Pickett went 5 for 6 in 7-on-7s. Nobody cares. Dylan Gabriel went 6 for 19. Oh, now you playing against other people. See, these ain't your teammates. They not trying to help you succeed, bro. No. Dylan Gabriel went 6 of 19. And Snoop went 3 for 4. Find it ironic. And Dylan Gabriel once again got more reps than Joe Flacco. I don't know if they were more 7-on-7 reps or more team reps. Only thing I know is he threw more balls than Joe Flacco did. And if Joe Flacco is the starter, I keep telling y'all, they trying to give Lil Dylan every chance in the world to win this job. And they're going to see it through until they can't, which will be in about a week. So it'll be all over with. There'll be no more trying to force it down our throat, because then again, we've all been seeing it. We'll be seeing it over and over again. It will be traumatically bad. I don't know what they're going to do with Dylan. All I know is everybody that I've listened to, everybody that's been at practice, everybody that has watched Dylan play, Dylan's not a good quarterback in the NFL. You know, and with Shedeur's injury today, they say he strained his oblique. We're going to see it. Because like I told you, this is Shedeur Sanders. He's only missed one football game in his college career. And that was after taking a pounding for 11 games. It's kind of strange that when we get there, he gets injured, but we shall see. We don't know how serious the oblique is. It could be a small streak. It could be a strain. It could be a bruise. There's several ways this could go. The worst of the worst, he'll probably be out 2 months. The least of the worst, he'll be playing Saturday. We shall see. We don't know. Only thing we gonna do is stand back and watch it happen. And it's happening. We know Shedeur is that boy. We know he's great at football. I don't know. I got a buddy that covers Philadelphia. I'm going to hit him up later on and see what I can get. Probably won't be much, but we'll see. Then I'll see what really took place in practice, And then I got another partner that lives in New York that is really, really good friends with a couple of reporters that cover New York. And I think some of them crossed the bridge today and went over to Philly to see. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it works out. Let's get to see if we ain't got no super chats. But Anthony Jackson say it was a reported strain. We'll see, Ant. I don't know, dog. Shedeur has played through pain before, and you ain't hurt unless you can't throw. Now, if it's painful where he can't throw, or if it's being pushed on, then they take a lick or can't take a lick. But if it's just bruised or pulled a little bit, he'll probably play. Because that's pain you can muster through and get past. They say, dang, that means the supercomputer is going to have to compute for 3 quarters. The supercomputer gonna blow its circuits, dog. Shedeur shouldn't trust any of the Browns doctors. Yeah. Now, Casey, I'm with you when you're right. Lady C, I hate Bucket can't be there. You can't trust Cleveland media. No, yeah. I'm with you on that one. Cleveland would never admit that they were wrong. 5%. Casey, they gave him the day off last time with the sore shoulder. Yeah. Brussels sprouts. It's a strain on his nerves and patience with the Browns line. Where's your cash app? My cash app is there. But now you see, I hate Bucket can't be there too. Where they don't want Bucket there revealing the truth. Now that is true. But Bucky has NFL access. And I think he just doesn't want to be there with Shedeur right now. What's up, Sony? I don't think he wants to be there right now and cause a distraction. The Queen basketball, he ain't hurt. Why would they have him standing on his feet the whole practice? And he walking around, he throwing the medicine ball against the wall. If Gabriel keeps doing this, he'll be done by halftime. More interceptions than TDs. He ain't throw no interceptions today. Almighty Lord. I'm feeling like Bobby Miles. You from Midland Lion-ass Browns, ain't nothing wrong with 12. Hey, man, look. Lady C said, if a Bucky is going to tell us the truth, yes, he will put it out there. Most definitely will protect his brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The Cleveland Browns want to lose in peace. And number 12 is bringing them unwanted wins. Now that's funny. That's funny. I don't know what's up with Cleveland, man. There's something strange going on over there. Something real weird. The energy ain't right. But we'll find out. We will find out in a few months. You know what I'm saying? Things will happen. This man said I can throw 6 out of 19. Well, hell, me too. Dylan might literally say Friday once it gets tough. Man, look, I don't know. They need to be investigated. Every day is something God's love. You already know. Yes, that's the problem, lady. See, this program is used to losing. With over 3 hurt quarterbacks, Cleveland's conditioning needs to be investigated. Prime should hire a trainer. Well, we'll see. Supercomputer gonna buzz. Evelyn Underwood, greetings everyone. They also met with Dylan at his Senior Bowl. Stabbed to him, took him out for dinner multiple times, and promised he would be the franchise QB1. Yeah, I know they met with him at the Senior Bowl. I know they took him out. I know they met with him when they left Shedeur's pro day. They went and met with Dylan also. But nobody or they mama had Dylan Gabriel rated higher than Shedeur. Nobody but the Cleveland Browns. Our authority, unwanted wins is hilarious. Yeah, now that's funny. Faith Nicole, God loves, I think so too. Let Dylan play and Shedeur rest. No. Shedeur gonna be just fine. Training with all these injuries. Yeah, my cash app isn't coming up. That's strange. Hold on now. Don't mess with the cash app money. The cash app money is tripping. You make sure you put the 2Ks in there. I'm gonna put my cash app in the chat. It's use a small B instead of a big B. I need to fix that. That's the problem. There we go. Now we change the cash app. It is in the building. Where we at? A Happy Meal and a handshake don't mean deal expect with Jerry Jones. Man, look, Jerry Jones is, I live in Texas and I'm sick of him messing up my Cowboys. All the evidence is on the Scoreboard Keepers channel. Facts, title, Snake, please check his channel out. Okay, we'll check it out. The Scoreboard Keeper channel. Ooh, look at that. That's my cash app. They Mad Prime Equity album came out. I am 75, don't like rap, but I like this one. Hey, I keep telling y'all, everything that Prime touches or that's associated with it doesn't fail. This was meant for Dylan to look pedestrian, 6 of 19. That's not good. A few weeks ago, Dylan was 4 for 13. Dylan hasn't looked good in weeks in practice. They have 2 first-round draft picks. It doesn't even make sense that they would want to lose. The Browns are tough. They want to lose because that's all they've done. Faith Nicole Stefanski has been exposed. Don't forget the fact that Nike backed him 100%. Yeah, he's a Nike brand athlete. Yeah, he got a Nike deal. He got one of them what you call Nike shoe deals. He got that moolah. Nike like your boy. They ain't even playing with him. Don't even play with him because they ain't playing with him. Yeah, that's why I did that video I did this morning. And if y'all haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. While you're in here, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button on the channel. Oh yeah, we did cross 20K the other day. I don't know if all y'all knew, but we did cross the 20K mark in subscribers. So for all of you that have supported me and been back since I've been back on YouTube, I appreciate it. Because I stopped doing YouTube for 7 years, but now we back. And it's been fun covering Coach Prime and everything that's been attached to him. Now we covering Shedeur and Shiloh. I need to do more Travis and Shiloh videos. Y'all will be seeing more CU videos drop in the upcoming weeks and days. We will get back to CU heavy and everything else. Shedeur will stay heavy. Shiloh will be covered more. Travis also. Jimmy LeJohntay. But we'll do all that. Don't forget the Nike sign him. I saw Cleveland Browns want 12 to sit in the back and allow them to cook up. And we'll get them next time type of season they are used to. Yeah, they wanna worry about next year. They are using Shedeur to boost the ratings. The ratings are gonna be boosted wherever Shedeur goes. All the boys got Nike deals. Uncle Kai is in the building. It has been reported that the goalpost is Cleveland has wheels and a remote control. Yeah, because it just keep inching on out there further and further every day, don't it? Cleveland bubble wrap Browns. We need to do something. I love it. Share the love. Doggone right. There, I got a cash out. Appreciate the cash appies. You know, I appreciate all the love from any and everybody. And it's crazy that the Browns are doing the things that they do. But y'all know what time it is. Your boy got to go take a nap before I drop this. I already got a video done, just so y'all know. I already got one. It's just sitting in there on the private section. You know, and sometime this evening when I wake up from my nap, I will make it public. And we gonna get it popping. Cleveland Browns on the bubble wrap. I love it, Shedeur. Love it is fabulous. Yeah, the goalpost got dug up last week. Yeah, I appreciate that. Cash App 50. You know. Evelyn Underwood, greetings everyone. They met with Dylan at his Senior Bowl, took him out to eat. All the evidence is in the Scoreboard Keeper channel, all facts. And Barry and Kevin and Dylan's voice. The title, Snakes. Okay, it's cooking the video. Great show, Big Snacks. Peace and love. Thank you, Faith. Should do a blink twice if you're not injured. Y'all need to stop, dog. The Queen, you crazy, dog. Y'all need to stop. I like that Texas joint, though. But it is what it is. I am only here for Shedeur Sanders, period. Well, we glad you're here because we got Shedeur Sanders all day, every day. All right, people. I'm getting out of here. Lady C, we getting out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. As always, y'all always rocking with your boy. All my CU aunties that are in the building. Y'all know we ain't got nothing but love for you. Thank you very much. We gonna get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. We out. Peace.